Welcome everybody. We have a really hearty group of people here today to protest at the mansion of Stephen Helmsley, who's the CEO of the largest health insurer in the country, United Health Group, and you know we're continuing to work tirelessly for our goal of, as you can see, healthcare is a human right, Medicare for all at the federal level, single payer. You can just read all the signs here. That's what we're about here today. I mean, it really comes down to everybody in, nobody out. That's what single payer is all about. Healthcare has to be a human right, and when you need care, you get care. That's what it comes down to. And the federal law that we have, this new healthcare legislation, was really put together by the insurance companies, for the insurance companies, and of the insurance companies. And you can add in the drug companies, and we're here to say no, enough of this. We're not going to take this anymore, and we know we're right. They know it too, and we just have to keep working on this at both the federal level and the state level, and so we want to keep getting that message out.
I just want to say I'm sick and tired of the HMOs making a profit on their poor services and offering services to my patients that don't make any sense, that increase their profits and don't look after people. I'm sick of it. I want profit out of healthcare. I want the HMOs out of healthcare, and I want single payer.
Who are you?
Thank you, Dr. Frost.
All right.
Cold out here in the lake, but there's a reason we're here. Is our healthcare system's profit motives have run amok. There's just no way we can continue to afford to have decent health care with the rates going up at 20% a year, the co-pays keep increasing, and the profits keep increasing. Until we have a not-for-profit health care system, we're simply fighting a losing battle against greed and avarice.
Johnson. I am here because we all know people who do not have health insurance or unable to get health care when they need it. And that is because of people like Stephen Helmsley here who deny people health care because he can't make a profit off them. And we are here to stand up and say we don't need health insurance companies anymore. We need single payer, and we need to make sure that everyone gets health care in this country, whether they can afford to pay the fee.
Roger Cuthbertson. Well, you can see this is a pretty big mansion here, but nobody's home. We don't think anybody's home. In this neighborhood, a lot of people aren't home. They're at some of their houses in warmer climates, probably. But Stephen Helmsley's salary, the last I saw was, I think it was for 2010 or 2009, was over $101 million for 1 year, and he's got stock options accumulating to $750 million. Well, that's obscene. That money should go into lower premiums for people. It should be going to insure more people. Right now, we have a record number of people in the United States with no health insurance. Over 50 million people without health insurance. That's inexcusable, and we just passed so-called reform legislation in March. Well, you can see it hasn't solved the problem. Over 40,000 people died because they didn't have health coverage this last year. That's obscene. Health should. We've got record number of people that are unemployed, so they've lost their health insurance coverage. We need single payer health care for all, like they have it in Canada. Most of the industrialized world has got health care for all. It's something everybody needs, everybody wants, everybody should have.
This morning because somebody thought on Friday that this was a mean, heartless thing to do, to come and stand in this man's backyard and hassle him. And it led me to think about the corporatization of America and who are our corporate leaders and what are they doing. And Stephen Helmsley is the highest paid CEO in the state of Minnesota. And last spring I was in the state of Washington on an art tour, and I thought, I suppose Bill Gates is their corporate leader. And I don't really know that it would occur to anyone to go picket his backyard. He's just an awesome corporate leader, Bill Gates. Why can't Minnesota have an awesome corporate leader? Why do we have to have this greedy man who's only out for money, who does very little good for the community? Why is he in our state? Why do we have to pay him more than anybody else? So I came out and I thought, no, I'm not doing a mean, heartless thing. I'm standing up here for, like my friend Linda, who had a brain tumor. Led to a series of illnesses, and she lost her job, went into foreclosure, and of course was dumped from United Healthcare. And now, lucky unemployed Linda can have health insurance for $1,000 a month. Well, she doesn't have a job. She can't even make her mortgage. And I thought, this doesn't say much for our great state of Minnesota when we have to live like this. So I decided, no, I'm not the mean one out here today. The mean one is probably in the Bahamas.
I'm Kari, and I'm out here today behind CEO Stephen Hemsley's mansion on the ice, Lake Minnetonka, because I feel it is so important to get rid of insurance companies. They're only in it for profit. The only way they make a profit is by denying people health care, getting between the patient and the doctor, and that's just wrong. Healthcare should not be in the business of making a profit. And I also do nonprofit work where I go to houses and I get a list of houses that are in danger of going into foreclosure, and I've talked to many people at these when I've gone to door, and a lot of them are losing their houses to foreclosure because of a health care emergency. One man I talked to about 4 days ago, his wife had to have an organ transplant, and all his money is going to pay for health care costs, and he's got a beautiful home in middle class neighborhood, and he's probably in his late 50s, and he's losing everything because of the healthcare system that we have.
Is he losing his house too?
He's losing his house, and so that is why I'm out here. I'm out here for the people that can't make it out here. There's only about eight or nine of us here today. It's about 5 degrees outside. It's worth it, and I wish there were hundreds of more people here. The current health care bill, Obama's health care bill, is a joke. It's not for the people, it's for the insurance companies. That's why the insurance companies aren't throwing a fit. It's because they're getting everything they want out of this. We're not.
Bob Palmer, Redwood hippie. And yeah, I've lived on the East Coast, the West Coast, in between Oklahoma, California, New Hampshire. Parents in Florida now, and I live in Minnesota. And you know what? We're all people that get sick. We're all people that get injured. And as such, if we believe in community, which is part of what civilized society is supposed to believe in, then we should have a simple decision process. If a doctor sees a person who is sick or injured, allow that doctor to help the person, and let me put my help in to help him help that person. That's what I say.
In addition to people, as Kari was saying, have to foreclose on their homes because of $100,000 hospital bills, but the medical bankruptcies, about 2/3 of medical bankruptcies are caused by people who have health insurance. They have health insurance, and the costs are so high that they actually have, from a hospitalization, that they actually have to file for bankruptcies. That is going to continue even under the current federal legislation. So while Stephen Hemsley, the CEO of the largest health insurer in the country, is basking in the sun on his and sipping his margarita in the Bahamas somewhere, and we're standing out here and on the ice of his mansion, I think we should maybe foreclose his house.
Yes. Here.
And that, that's what I got to say about it. The number of tens of thousands of people who die every year due to lack of health insurance is going to continue under the new federal law, and also there are huge opportunities because of, our country is still in a deep economic recession. The state budget deficit is $6 billion. The federal budget deficit is imploding, and there's just every reason. And the driver of all this is healthcare costs. The driver of state budgets. This is why people are filing for medical bankruptcy. These are why people are foreclosing on their homes, because of these insurance companies that are allowing executives to have mansions like this of $7.8 million. So the people are, the action piece of this is that people have to rise up and become activists, and we've got to get a movement going from the grassroots. And we're here today and saying that people have to do this. It's happening in other countries. College students in England are rising up. They're saying we're not taking this anymore. People in Ireland, people in Greece, all over the world, as unemployment rates continue increasing, and it's going to happen. It's got to happen here in the heart of the beast where we live in the United States and in Minnesota. So we, do whatever you can do, express yourself in whatever way you can, and I'm gonna leave our UCAN contact number 612-384-0973 if anybody out there wants to contact us and join us. Maybe we should invoke John Lennon here. You may say we're dreamers, but we're not the only ones. Hope someday you'll join us, and we'll all live as one, and everybody will have health care as a human right.